There's an interesting shayla. There's a Pirsh Yosef Lekach. He's from the times of the Ramah and the Hashal. So he brings up the question, Taka, why were Chazal Mechayev at all to read the Megillah? In Chanukah they weren't Mechayev to read the Megillah. Why do we need it Dafke? Why do we need it on Purim? Oh, you're coming?
The first part.
So why
Dafka on Purim? And that's so Purim. Wait a minute.
So Chanukah. Why don't we read a Megillah on Chanukah?
We talked about last week that Esther.
Right, that's why it was named after her, because she.
Why Dafka Megillah in this case?
And also, why doesn't it get all the pratim about the Su'udah and he killed Vashti and why is the whole build-up so important? So he says the Geshmak Evert. He says that it's the whole that since the Ness was Melubash and Teva, it wasn't something that stands out. So the only way you'll realize it was a Ness if you read through the whole story, all the different things that happened, the way it added up. So in the first Maramukh, he writes. You could have made it Yom Tov lasses me the Shannon B'Shannon Zichron Hanes. The built the Chayva Son L'Safra Hamaisa. You could have made it Yom Tov without being the Chayvas to tell over the whole story. Just like the Chashmonaim did during Chanukah. So why? The fish Hanes Shanasa B'Mei Chashmonai Hayim Mevur Ma'oid Hayesei Me'ita Yisbarich. Since the Nes, it's very clear in Nes. Achreish Nimsu Rabbi Miyad Ma'atim. Therefore, it was a very clear miracle. Avalanes Hazeh, it's 2 pages.
What do you mean? You got to learn a lot today?
Where's 2
pages? Oh, you just take 2 pages?
Avanes Hazeh Shanas Lavicina Bimea Chashvirish, Li Hayam Fursum Hayesinas Mita Yisbarich. The nest which happened during times of Achashverosh wasn't such a clear nest that it came from the Eberster. Ki Teva Hamin Hanishi Chayv Avas Hamayim. Because Teva people is that your love for people changes. It changes what you do. Before the whole story makes sense how he did things for her. So therefore, that's why I had to tell her the whole story to make sure everything was to show you that how everything really was didn't make sense. There were too many coincidences that happened in the story. So the question he brought up is the question why some person asked why is it necessary to read the whole Megillah on Purim? Chanukah they were Messiah, they didn't make a Megillah that we have to read every year.
By any other,
I thought that was Esther's specific thing.
That's what she wanted, but why is it so important? Chanukah they didn't make it, they weren't Mesakin to read a Megillah Tantiyachas every year or something like that? Well, what's so special?
It was her request, but you're right about that.
Didn't she say why?
Last week learning, but now the question is why this Yom Tov Dafka and not any other Yom Tov?
No, why did they listen to her?
No one else. I said why they listened to her. She made a point.
You can no, but first, why do we need a Megillah for a Megillah?
That's what she decided. Hanukkah, nobody made one.
So another reason is that there must be because Hanukkah was a clear miracle. Everyone knew it was a miracle. You didn't have to tell everyone it was a miracle. That the Yidden managed to overcome the Greeks was a Rabbin Biyad Ma'atim, so that was very clear. However, the story of Purim wasn't such a clear miracle. It was people. You could explain very nicely that people change things. If people, because of someone you love and care about, you'll change your decisions. Achashverosh loved Esther, and therefore.
Have a good day.
Yeah. So he says, there must be, therefore that's why Taki, you have to read the Megillah. Because if you read the Megillah, there are too many coincidences happening over there. They started off with a question, they were being mastered Taki, why all the other kings before Achashverosh, they didn't have their castle in Shushan. They were somewhere else in Bavel. Why did he all of a sudden move?
What do you mean Bavel and Para?
He moved to the capital?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where they were. Somewhere else in Bavel or Paras. And it was it wasn't the capital for the other kings. Why did Achashverosh all of a sudden decide to move his capital to Shushan? So there's different biurim given. Why did he do it after like that? But he's saying, they're all bringing that this is part of the miracle. You see all the different coincidences. He moved to Shushan where Haman was, and then he decided to throw a crazy party, and then he decided to kill his wife, and then he happened to marry a Yid. All the different coincidences that add up.
How long did all this take place?
Years.
Uh-huh.
Years. We think, you think you read it in the Megilah,
happened in 1 year.
Happened in 1 year. It's not. It happened over a course of years.
So this could happen to any king. Why is it so special? Why is it so special?
Also, there's
It happened to any person today.
There's the Gra has a beer on the Megillah, so he gives a very nice mashal to bring out this Nakuda. Why do you have to read the Megillah? The second Maramakim writes, he says, "So the fichach amr shetzarech likreitza kula." I'll say you have to read the entire Megillah, also the whole story of the Sudan. Why didn't they get to see it here? The whole story about the Sudan. Why do we have to see how great he was? He says, each pasuk in the Megillah is bringing out another prat of the Nes. How so? He says, "V'amar mashal l'melech." He tells you a mashal l'melech shahayilei ben yachid, v'hayu hasodim yiskanim by machmas shiro goydel avas hamelech alav. They were jealous of the son because the king loved them so much. And l'yamim chata ha-ben laviv. After a while, the son did something wrong. And the father got upset at him. And he kicked him out of the palace into the forest. He thought that his father forgot about him and left him. But the father Taki cared about him. And he's afraid that maybe some animals will get his son in the fire. So he's son of Hassanim, or the other ministers who hated him. So what did the father do? He sent his servants into the forest to keep an eye on him to make sure he stays safe. That his son shouldn't know that it's from him, or that he should really think that his father still upset at him.
Safe, but he didn't want him to know who's creeping himself.
Yeah. So the Yamin Baal of Dave, so then a bear came to attack him, and one of the servants came and saved him from the bear. He thought it was just by chance that it happened. One of the ministers and parents who from the palace who hated him came to get him. And again, one of the servants came up and saved him. So after it happened a few times, he understood. Not going to be that every single time this happens. So something's up. He realizes this is from his father. So the pasha so some of first I think it was the Yosef Lekach earlier his master why was it an Esem Luvish and Teva? So he says Misam the Griosa because Eden were in Gullus. We didn't deserve to have such a big nest like the way it was in the earlier times. That's why it was a Nesem. That's why it's Luvish and Teva. It wasn't a Nes Begilui. That's a similar mahalach he's writing over here. But Afal Pikain still the father nor that we should time after time keep saving us. And the only way you're going to pick up on it is to reading the entire Megillah, seeing how after time, every prat of the story, everything just fits into the place. The Eibusha is taking care of us constantly. Then you realize the nest that the Eibusha is doing for us.
So you realize
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Gra asks,
why do you need the whole story?
Every word, every sentence has it.
He says every pasuk, every pasuk is bringing it up.
What's the miracle of the, let's say, you made a Suda?
Saying it's everything all it up. First of all,
that was going into Vashti. That was going into the whole story of Vashti, and this, that, every little.
So many things happened that didn't make sense. Like the king decided to throw a crazy party for 180 days.
Then why do you need a story? People would realize already anyway.
He's saying even the fact
that you don't realize it unless you show them every detail.
It was different. Even the fact that the capital was Shushan was something that was a change.
That was also a change.
Every little detail was
so that's that. And when you get to Taka, why did Achashverosh make the big Sudan? So there's a lot of different beauty in Ma'amari Chazal in the first time. Why did he make such a big Sudan? So two of these we saw last week in the third Maramakim, and the Gemara Megillah gives two reasons. And one reason that the big Suda was because he according to his cheshbon, he saw the 70 days pass from when the Galus was supposed to 70 years pass from when the Yidden were supposed to finish Galus, and it didn't pass, and he thought it passed. Therefore, he made a big Suda because he saw the Yidden were not redeemed. Third Rambam says Bayamim Hahim Keshevas Hamelech when the king sat in his throne. one of the big questions is that says Keshevas Melch when he sat on the throne. So it sounds like when he became king. But then it says B'im Shalosh Melchi in the third year. Why did he wait? When was it? So Ksiv Basir B'Shan Shalosh Melchi. So Amar Rava, my Keshevas la'achar shenis yashva daitei. After he was calmed down, he became relaxed. He wasn't worried anymore. Amar, he said Belshazzar chashav. Belshazzar made the cheshbon of when the 7 years of Galus was supposed to end, then he made a mistake. I made the right calculation. I didn't make a mistake. And you see, the Yidden were still not redeemed. So you know that it's never going to happen. Kivin the Chazi, the Malu, Shivin, the Lay Ifrit. Since all the 7 years passed and he wasn't redeemed, Omar Hashtav Ade Sulay Mifriki. Now for sure they're never going to be redeemed. So what is Afik Mani Day in the Bay Mikdash? He took out the kill of the base upon the base of Mikdash, and he used them for the Sudah. So that's one reason why he made the Sudah. It was a big simcha because he saw the Yidden were not redeemed after 70 years.
So this is Mamish Rishus. The whole Sudah is a foundation of Rishus.
Yeah.
Which quite leads to the
Wait a
question.
minute, Rishus to you and hacking it to him.
Yeah, but I'm saying Rishus to Yidden. It was all founded on
Not really. I mean,
yeah, and he was using the clay Amikdash and everything.
Maybe the Talmud's just some storage and
The only question I have is why did he have to want to make kosher food and wine and everything?
Oh, so you see, there's the Medrash in the last Maramakim. It says that his kavanah is all covered. The kavanah was taket to make the Yidden do averis. He wanted to get rid of the. You can jump to the 10th Maramakim. The Medrash Rabbah says that Omar Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha. Haman Harasha Ba'alila G'deila Ba Al Yisrael. Haman came with a big plot against the Yidden with the Sudan. Hadahu Dechsiv of Malais Hayamim Ha'ila Asa Hamelech L'Chol Am Hamin Say Mishushan Habira. Says at the end of the 180 days, he made another party for 7 days. Why is he making another party after that? So he says no. The second party he meant that was dafka for the Yidden. He dafka wanted the Yidden to come. So it says he made a l'chol am hamintzay mishushan habira.
What was the 180 days? Not a party?
Hmm?
What did you say now?
Oh, so Pashas was also a party.
Big party and for everyone, and then he made another party.
Which is for the Yidden, where he invited the Yidden. He says ve'ein ha'am ha'amar kan el Yisrael. The ha'am over here is only Yisrael. Hadu d'chsiv ashrech Yisrael micha mecha am neisha b'Hashem. Omar, so you see that's referring to the Yidden. So Omar Haman Nachashverish, they came Shaleidu Seini Zima. He hates Nus. What should he do? Haman Lahem Zainis, make Va'asal Lahem Mishla, make a party for them. The Gazar Aleim Shiavayu Kulam V'Yechla V'Yishtu. The Asik Yitzayna make a Gazir. They should all come and they should hear the party, and they could do Malasi is to say Ish V'ish. So in Achinam, he said you see Taka, the plot between Haman and Achashverosh, Taka was they were to get the Yidden. Yeah, the Megilah Sodom, which is a beer from the Megillah on the Chavaz Das, Yaakov Melissa. So he wants to go back to. He wants to say that the whole first 180 days was also all to get the Yidden. He was all worried. The kings knew that once the Yidden come back, when the ones the Melech and the Yidden come back, that their leadership is going to stop. So he made this whole gathering, 180 days, they're discussing how to get the Yidden. And at the end of the 180 days, they decided, let's get them to Averis. This is how we do it. Yeah, so that's really, this is already a fourth reason why he made the Suda. Why he made the Suda was to get the Yidden to Averis. Number, what are we holding? 3? We did 3. 4? That was because of Simcha that it wasn't rebuilt. The fourth Marmak, the Medrash Rabbah brings another 2 reasons over there why he made the Suda. So first of all, really this is the 5th Marmakim, but in the 4th Marmakim it says that why did you in the 3rd year and not in the 1st year? It says because it was in the 3rd year, that's when his throne got finished being built. What's the whole story with the throne? Because really, all the Persian kings, they had the Yerusha, they had Shlomo Melech's throne, and a lot of people tried sitting on the throne, and they got attacked by the animals which are on the throne, and they couldn't stand up on it. So therefore, King Achashverosh had a replica built of it, and at the end of the 3 years, when they finished building it, he made a big party. It's interesting though. There's some Mefarshim Taka say that the Suda was because he got to sit in Shlomo Melech's throne. It's in there's the Targum Sheni says that there were some kings. The Targum Sheni on the Megilah, which is over there, it says some kings Taka did get to sit on the throne. Koirish and Alexander. Alexander, I think, also was one of them.
But they were not Rishayim, I guess.
Did they skip a tread, or maybe they jumped up and skipped some tread?
Was that the son, no?
There were two Koirish. There's one before Achashverosh.
One before, one after.
Senior
and junior.
There's so what's the reason why some people were able to sit on the throne, some weren't? So it says here in the fourth Ma'amakim, it says that it brings the Medrash says that only people who were ruled over the entire universe were able to sit on the throne, just like Shlomo Melech. So in the fourth one it says Al Kisei Malchusei. So Rav Koyim B'Shem Rabbi Zarya, he says it's read Al Kisei Malchusei, but Malchusei it's chaser, it's missing the vav. Why is it chaser? Because he wanted to sit on Shlomo Melech's throne. He told him, no, don't do it. Why? Amrulay kol melech she'inei cosmic krater. Anyone who's not a cosmic krater, they say cosmo means the entire world, and krater means a ruler. I think we still have some words nowadays, no? Like democrat. Krat, no? Krat is like a ruler. So cosmic krat, someone who's not a cosmic krater, only someone who rules over the entire world. So what did he do? So he made another one which looks just like it. Didn't come out as nice. It doesn't say chaser. Al kisei malchusei. So it wasn't the same thing. So the question is, the Achashverosh did rule over the whole world. Why couldn't he sit on the throne? So the Medrash Taka says that he lost half the kingdom. Some Mefarshim understand that like the Pashas, like the Gemara, that he still ruled over the whole world. But according to this, it seems like you see that no, Taka lost the chiluk of his kingdom. That's why he wasn't able to sit on the throne. The Maharal says that even if he did rule over the whole world, he still wouldn't be able to sit on the throne, because Dafka someone like Shlomo Melech, who was a king, Melech in El Yenim and Tachteinim, Dafka someone like him could sit on such a throne.
Not even Ruach HaNetzer did not get to sit on it. That was a rule of the whole world.
I didn't either.
All right. Yeah.
I just wanted to add another interesting point, that the capital city of Israel was not Shushan. Shushan was a little doubtful. Because of Mordechai, Eibishter made it so they'll move. The people that come out of the wheelchairs lived in Shushan. So they built it in Shushan. They didn't want to move it, so he built a new capital city.
Well, that's what I saw the Gross says that what's the reason he moved to Shushan? Because the people who were building, they built a chair over there, they built a throne over there, and then it was too heavy to move. So we'll move the capital over to that side of town.
That itself is a mess.
Mm-hmm. So that's their master. That's why the Yasvilekach and the Gra, they said that's why we're second through the Megillah, because all these different pratim, all these small little things are part of the nest. You wouldn't pick up on it unless you read the whole Megillah. Right.
That's right, the whole Megillah and the Medrash.
And the Medrash.
All the what?
All the midrashim, all the insights.
Behind the scenes.
Very good to read.
There's in the fifth Ma'amakim we said outside. The sixth Ma'amakim it brings Yalkashmani, brings other reasons why he made the Sudan. It says B'shnas Shal Shemalchi, in the third year of his rulership. Also Mishteh. So Yish Aimen, what was it for? Yish Aimen Sha'amdu Olava Iprechies. Different kingdoms were stood up to fight against him. V'halach like Kavshan. Rebels. They came up to fight against him. Because Kavshan Bava Asa Mishle. That's what the party was. We're celebrating that he conquered these the people who were the rebels. Some people say it was his birthday. That's what the big party was for.
All the reasons for the truth. Everything is endless.
The party was for so long, it was probably his birthday.
Right? The seventh Marmak, Ibn Ezra wants to say that it was the chasana when he married Vashti. In the middle of the Sudas Chasana, he decided to kill her. In the end of the seventh Marmak, he said, Ibn Ezra says, I think that's the correct reason, because the chasana for Vashti. Manas Halevi from Shlomo Alkovitz brings down another reason for the Suda. He says, first he brings on the Medrash. The Medrash, he says, he made such a big Suda for 180 days with all these riches. Where did he get all the money from? So the Medrash says that he found that he got the tray and he inherited all the treasures from the Nebuchadnezzar, who conquered the whole world, and that's where he got all the money from. And Manas Levi adds, he says that's what the big party was for. The big party was for to show off the treasures that he inherited. And that's in the Ithmar Makim. He writes,
He did not find the treasure.
Kodesh got it, and he arshin, and he arshin.
You know what Nebuchadnezzar did?
We're bringing it. The eighth Marmak, the Manas Levi brings a medrash. Mehechan Hesher Oisei Rasha. Where did he get so rich? Amar Abtan Chuma Nebuchadnezzar Shachik Machik, the grinder crusher. Sigol Kol Mamayni Shaleilam. When he conquered the world, he took everyone's money. V'Hoisa Inei Tzara B'Mamayni. He was very stingy. He didn't want to give it away. Kivan Shenata Lamus. When this time came to pass, Armamani Aniach Kol Mamin Zeh Evil. Why should I leave all this money for my son Evil? Well, what's he going? Why should I leave it for him? He did. So what he didn't want to. Amar v'Gazar. He made exedav asa sfinis gedelish on lechishas. He made big boats or big boxes of copper. And he buried them inside. He dug a hole next to pras, and he buried them there, and he made the water go over it. And he made it go on top of it. So no one knew where it was. The Yom Sha'amad Kodesh, when Kodesh became king, God the Gaza Shibana Beis HaMikdash, Gila Isan Kadesh Baruch Hu. Eivisher revealed it for him, and Kodesh was Zeichet. Because the Kodesh passed away after once he passed away, he didn't end up finishing the Beis HaMikdash. Achshverosh stopped him from building the Beis HaMikdash.
So Kodesh is the one who built the Beis HaMikdash, or was
started? He started building the Beis HaMikdash.
The first Kodesh, not the son of Esther.
He finished it. First Kodesh, one who started it. Then he passed away. Achshverosh stopped it, and he got all the money from Kodesh. And that's
who found it from Nebuchadnezzar's hiding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he found it hiding in the river. Water.
So
there's no chance of me going to see if I can find it anywhere.
No.
You could go.
You see where people go digging.
So my question is just out of curiosity, that so Babel and Paras were different muluchos. I mean, in other words, not like he succeeded. Kodesh was a successor.
It went back and forth, no? From Alpei Paras.
One was Kodesh the other, yes? Is that how it happened? It didn't happen peacefully, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well,
anybody?
I don't know.
Babel and Paras, they were Kodesh. I'm saying when he talks about Kodesh taking the wealth of Babel, of Nebuchadnezzar, they were Kodesh Babel, right? And then we're able.
By the way, they're still fighting.
All these countries used to fight each other.
I know. It's a historic thing, but I'm saying in those days it didn't just happen to people.
I'm sure the border changed and things flew by and this and that every 10, 20 years.
Yeah, but we're talking about the world dominance of it.
And he says the Manas Levi ends off. So this is another reason you have why he made the big simcha for the treasures that he had. He wanted to show it off. And so one of the questions is, how do you have a party for 180 days? What were they doing? So I saw. What's going on? What?
Yeah,
I didn't. I looked in the Heichel Nachman. I didn't see it yet.
They didn't have gourmet chefs and gourmet food.
In the Medrash it says
they had marinated, salted, certain things.
In the Medrash it says that he had showed them every day 6 rooms.
Oh yeah, it's a nice looking.
Every day he showed them 6 rooms full of treasures. Now I have to understand that it was different.
Mm-hmm. So I saw one of the fish. I saw it brought down. I couldn't find it inside. Yefei Anav. He says that there wasn't a party for 180 days. The party was only the last 7 days. The first 180 days he was showing them the treasures. He's showing them the treasures all around. Only the last 7 days.
That's a big finish.
That's how, and the Manas Halevi also wanted the time Nazay. I'll say the first 180 days we were preparing, getting all the treasures ready, getting ready for the party. The last 7 days, that was the party.
Maybe the first day is just cocktail hour on
I think that's what they should make for Trump, a 180-day party.
Oh, he would totally go for that. So that
But he won't make the second 7-day party.
And Mexico
What's
will
the
pay
difference
for
between
it.
7 day and the 180? 180 was for the common folk.
Yeah,
And the 7 days was for
the
Washington.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna make no parties for Washington.
The 7 days are to the
If you make a party for Washington, you end up killing your wife.
and say it doesn't fit the budget.
And in the 9th Matter Malkim brings down the Medrash says that during every day of the party he showed them 6 treasure houses from the palace. So 180 days, that's a lot of treasure houses. 9th Matter Malkim says so what was the issue he was showing them? So the base Rabbi Yanai v'Chizkiah Tavein Amrin Shisha Nisin have a Pesach Umar Lehen B'chol Yom. 6 treasure rooms he would open up every day and show it to them. They argue, they say, why would he trust them in the treasure rooms? He was just showing them the receipts, all the bills, all the money he spends on everything. So not as exciting the Medrash.
Wow.
So it's also, have you the Bar Simeon, Omar Sudas Eretz Yisrael Heralahen. So now you show them. I don't remember how they typed it. I think maybe means all everything he captured from Eretz Yisrael. I think it means all the Kalim and everything he got from there. So I believe he Omar Big Day Kahuna Gedela Heralahen. He showed them the Big Day Kahuna.
180 days.
And that's one of the things he did.
They filed 5, it takes time.
Like another beer, why he made a second party at the end of the 7 days was because when the Yidden saw Achashverosh and the Big Day Kahuna and they came from the Beis HaMikdash, he got very sad and they didn't want to be by the party. So Achashverosh didn't want them to miss out, so he made a tashlumin for them. A tashlumin for the Yidden.
How come we don't make a party for 7 days?
The party for 7 days was the party for 7 days was the issue. It wasn't the.
Make the party with the Chama ended.
They feel bad for the Chama ended. Too expensive.
So,
1 day is not enough for you to do.
No, so it's better.
Another verse I saw, the Yosef Lekach, he says, why is it necessary to tell over the whole story about the Su'udo and Achashverosh killed his wife? He says because it's important. He says Achashverosh wasn't usually described as a tipfish. So he says he wasn't such a tipfish. He conquered the world. He became a big king. So he says that, and you might think that was the reason he killed. It's not such a big deal. He killed Haman because of Esther, because he loved his wife. He says no, because he was fakert. You see earlier he killed his wife because of Haman. So you see it's not a nest. You shouldn't think it's such a big nest that he killed Haman because of his wife. It was because of his wife. So his wife was a Yid. He married his first wife was a daughter of a great king and still he killed
By the
her.
way, Vayomi Ma'alem Niskam Venasi, you talk about Achashverosh Melech Tipish. You have Trump, he's also Melech Tipish. He's a Tipish. He's successful, but he's a Tipish.
יש $3 billion לך או לא?
Achashverosh היה יותר מזה.